Because as a child, that was one of the main things of just feeling as if I was good enough for those that I would, towards those that I looked up to, but it was never enough. So that was something that I had to shake off and realize that, you truly are that amazing kid that you always saw yourself to be. You just had to utilize your own lens to embrace that. Greetings and welcome to Vybz and Try podcast. My name is Amaru and this is my awesome wife, Shana.
Thank you, handsome. And we are our Essence of Serenity. And again, this is our YouTube channel, our podcast, where we like to sip tea and invite you to the table for various conversations. Versus doing this intro 4 times out of the month, I'm only doing it 2, so I always forget. But would you like to tell them what we're sipping on?
We are sipping on mint sage tea.
Yes. So, if you have not checked out the podcast video that we did the week before last, where we're wearing the same thing, be sure to check that out, because for those of you that have not checked it out yet and you don't know, we just recently released our first ebook, which is the Evolved You, Becoming Your Next Version of You. So if you don't want to miss out on the opportunity, and I'm not trying to sell y'all a dream. I know this is about to sound like I'm selling you a dream, but if you don't want to miss out on the opportunity to have an amazing 2026 and how you can do that and how you can actually be in control of that, if you don't want to miss out on that, go ahead and get the ebook. It is at an amazing price because I wanted it to be reasonable for everybody. So in order to know that price, you have to go on the link down below, click on the link to the book and check it out. But let's go ahead and move on and talk about what we're talking about today. And we may tie certain things back to that ebook. Who knows? But let's go ahead, sweetness. What we talking?
So today's topic is going to be centered around how difficult is it to be honest with yourself? Meaning, we all want to put on a particular image or persona as far as defining who we truly are. But is this persona driven by something outside yourself, or is it something that you structured within yourself to become a better version of yourself, going back to the book?
Yes. And we're just going to reference the book as the Evolve You because, y'all, that's a long title. But I wanted to make sure nobody else had that title.
Yes.
So it's very difficult. It can be difficult. Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all, oh, it's not. You know, some people like to sound so, they like to be politically correct. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. It's very difficult. It can be difficult because you may not realize that you lying to yourself. You may have lived in that lie for so long so you don't even realize you've been lying to yourself. Or sometimes you know you lying to yourself. And it's just better for you to keep lying to yourself. But our reality is our reality. But it is very difficult to be honest with yourself. Because we have so many excuses also that's like, to me, it seems like it's more excuses available to us than what it is opportunities to be honest with ourselves. Indeed. So, do you find it difficult?
Where I am now, it's more so uplifting. Prior, yes, because there's 2 different dynamics I'm going to speak on when it comes to how deeply embedded those layers can be when it comes to that. One could be driven off a comfort zone. Like my wife was saying, you could be so caught up in your own lie or a lie that you've accepted that you can see it as your own truth when it really isn't. It can be misguiding. It can take you to a place to where it's not giving you the true expressions of oneself. Whereas the other one could be based off getting approval, which is where I derived a lot from.
I think a lot of us have,
Yeah, because as a child, that was one of the main things of just feeling as if I was good enough for those that I would, towards those that I looked up to, but it was never enough. So that was something that I had to shake off and realize that, you truly are that amazing kid that you always saw yourself to be. You just had to utilize your own lens to embrace that. So I'm at a point now to where whenever there's something that even my wife has to point out, to where it's like, you know what, you're right. Instead of being hard on myself like I used to, or giving her blowback, I'm going to actually sit down and process it. Now, I may have my own way of processing it, but I'm not going to be dismissive to it. I'm going to be like, you know what, there is something to that. So let me backtrack and see if there's some sort of trend in the source of which that came from. You funny. But
putting on for y'all. No, I'm just playing.
But I find it more exhilarating
Yeah.
to get to the bottom of certain things that are hindering me that I didn't realize that really were.
Alrighty, so before we go any further, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Our sponsors for today are Zenful Vybz, a holistic aspect of our sense of serenity. In today's product, we will be presenting the Elixir. This is a natural concoction that consists of a vast amount of earthly properties infused with both healing and rejuvenating the cellular structure of our unique anatomy. With the assistance of the ancestors and holistic dedication, it is confidently assured to aid and produce miraculous results. This natural compound has been supercharged with high vibrational energy to provide healing properties as far as eliminating pain. This should only be applied as external use only. It should not be taken orally. There are two variations of this elixir. You have the regular, which consists of mimosa bark, arnica, bee oil, and peppermint oil. And then you have the premium, which is more profound, more potent, and more powerful, which consists of everything of the regular, but it also contains snake oil. For more information about this product, please visit our website, ouressenceofserenity.net, under the tab Zenful Vybz Holistic Products. And we are back.
Yes, yes. I think another thing, like when it comes to the topic of being honest with yourself, I think we also lie to ourselves about, I would say, even though what my husband just talked about is considered like, well, I guess you could tie it into flaws. But I mean flaws as far as sometimes we tell ourselves that something that we did, we were doing it out the goodness of our heart, and we really wasn't. Mm-hmm. I think that's a lie that we've all told ourselves. But it's also something that we've all actually done. We've all done something out the goodness of our heart or whatnot. And then that can also tie into where, you know what, I cussed that person out because they needed it. Now, I am a strong believer that sometimes things can only be rectified with a good cussing out. And I'm not just saying cussing out other people, but have you ever been cussed out? And that cussed out, like that cussing out that you got put things in perspective for you.
Deep, look.
Right. So, but there are times where it's like we may say certain things and do certain things, and we know we shouldn't have done it, but we find an excuse, or we find like something to, I want to really cuss right now, so I gotta, because of what I'm trying to explain. But we try to find a way to make it, to wrap it in like a pretty gift box, when that wasn't the delivery in the first place. That was not the intent of the delivery. So I think that's another thing. It's not to say that it makes you a bad person, but I think that we're too dismissive of certain things about us that can be considered bad. And I think that we can, when we acknowledge those things, that's when we can turn those things into a strength that we actually have.
I agree.
So
I agree. Being transparent with oneself, being honest with oneself is truly evolutionary when it comes to, breaking those barriers, wanting to become a better person, not just for those that you love and care for, but more importantly to the core, yourself.
yeah.
So that honesty towards self, looking at yourself in the mirror, or how do you feel about that? Are you disgusted? Are you exhilarated? Are you inspired by what you see? Do you see the fact that there has been growth? There has been improvements in your life. Does that keep you going? So there's many layers to, getting to the reasons why you want to be honest with yourself, not for those outside yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a struggle by itself. Yeah.
It's crazy that you say mirror, because in the ebook, it's actually an exercise that's a mirror exercise, and it hits on that very thing. Let me say this. A lot of times it's nice when we hear advice, when we hear people talk about certain things, but if you anything like me, most of the time you like, okay, so how do I incorporate that into my life? Like, how do I make that make sense when it comes to my life? It sounds good and I really want to do that, but how? One thing that I want to definitely point out, and I am trying to plug this book when I say this, but it actually does go hand in hand with this, is that One thing with the book that we're very proud of is that it actually helps you answer those questions as far as, okay, I want to change certain things about me. And the book is not just about changing certain things about you, because a lot of times we like to transform into this new person and forget who we used to be, as if they were just a completely bad person and did not help us get to where we are currently at in this moment. It also talks about how you are to incorporate certain aspects about yourself that you can utilize from your past to bring into the future you. So when you said the mirror, the thing with the mirror, it made me think about that mirror exercise. So was there anything else that you want to add?
No. One of the ways, because it's one thing to work on yourself or want to work on yourself, but it's another to know that you actually are succeeding with that process. So with that being said, if you find yourself more in a stage of being more accountable for your own actions and not utilizing the excuses that my wife was mentioning earlier, then you know you're on the right path. Being accountable, being prideful towards your growth when it comes to that.
And knowing that a lot of times we like to say, oh, I just need to be more motivated, or I need to feel inspired. And one thing that I'm learning is that we're motivated, but it's not consistent. I don't care how motivated that you may feel right now, that motivation may fade off. The key thing that you want to work on is discipline, because you're going to utilize discipline to do whatever it is that you're trying to get done. You're going to utilize that when you're motivated and when you're not motivated, when you're inspired and when you're not inspired. So I think that's another thing that we lie to ourselves about, is that, oh, I didn't get it done because I didn't feel motivated. Well, you needed discipline over that motivation. Motivation is nice, but there are certain things that we have to do in life to whereas that we have to do, but we may not be inspired to do it or motivated. So before we close out, was there something you wanted to add?
No, I think that's very true when it comes to that discipline. Knowing your reason why with that discipline can get you far, but discipline for sure.
Yeah. So at this time, we would like to invite you all to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I kind of don't feel like doing the long outro. Y'all know what to do. Comment, like, share. If you are intrigued by me and my handsome and you would like to get to know more about us, you can check out our website that's down in the description down below. Also, our ebook is linked down below. Also, if you want to book a consultation with us, as we said in the last video that we did the week prior, is that we never emphasize this, but our consultations are not just for people that are married. I know we're a married couple, so probably when I said consultations, people probably thought that, but we can talk about anything that y'all will
keep it appropriate.
Yeah. You know, and we're not just talking about in a sexual sense, but we got some different people out here in all types of ways. Keep it appropriate.
Let me tell you.
But, you know, we have some January spots for y'all to book with us. You can book with myself or my husband, or you can book with both of us. Also, that's it. Is there anything else that you want to say?
Nah, you pretty much said it all.
Alrighty. So until next time, what do they need to do, handsome?
Be honest for yourself. Yeah, I like that.
I know what you meant.
No, be honest for yourself,
I like
to
that.
yourself.
Okay.
And y'all stay lifted.
Alrighty.